Thanks. So we're going to start because we're so punctual with this stuff, right? So I just want to say
How
welcome
do I
to
get
everybody.
my video on?
What'd you say?
I'm trying to get my video on. I don't know what to do. My picture, can you see me?
Oh, I can't see you.
How do I do that?
I don't know.
You should be able to click where it says stop video, start video.
The lower left-hand corner of the screen.
Yeah.
Miss
I'm
Heidi.
Yeah, lower left. Thank you.
In mine, it's upper right. So it
Oh.
depends.
Okay.
Are you having luck
It
with it?
might be a little camera icon, like a little picture of a camera.
That's what mine is.
Yeah, me too. Or like a little zoom camera.
Oh, now I see it. Okay. It wasn't there before.
Here you are. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Robin. Welcome. Welcome. So we're going to start almost on time. Close enough, right? So welcome to everybody. The subject matter today in this meeting is, hi Elle, welcome, is how to help others. And you know, the truth is we all heal ourselves, but we kind of, the big thing is you have to ask permission, you know, or people have to actually ask you, which sounds kind of obvious, but I've had a lot of people just start healing me, which isn't really what I'm wanting in that moment. So
Would you consider that almost sorcery if people are healing without permission or no?
a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a healer, let me heal you. The truth is we'll heal ourselves. So and you really need to ask permission. And one of the things we're going to be talking about next year is a surrogate healing. Like when I work with people who have a loved one who are in prison or, you know, in a place where sometimes you can't work with them directly, you can work through other people. So, but you have to have permission. And the healing itself is not going to be recorded on YouTube. It's an opportunity to, you know, to use your shamanic tools, which, you know, we're developing. Aaron, could I have the Imbabura slide, please?
Yes.
Welcome, Catherine. Welcome, Katie. Welcome, Jessica. So we're going to have a picture of Imbabura.
I have that picture here.
Yeah. Which is this amazing, there's a lot of, there are a lot of amazing healing sites. If you look at the picture of Imbabura, which you can see the crowd, you can see it's called the heart of the mountain. It's sort of like the inner part of it. And a lot of times the clouds go in there.
Is it volcanic?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's this really, there's just, it's like one of those mountains, all these amazing things happen. And I think I've mentioned that when you marry the mountain, you, even men become brides. And it's hard to not laugh sometimes because I look funny, but it's, and so everyone's the bride of Imbabura, and you know, we'll be doing a ceremony next year if you want to become a bride of Imbabura. Imbabura has many wives though, so don't feel too special. So the healing ritual we're doing today is one I learned, and it's an Imbabura one. And we'll be using healing stones for people who are connected to healing stones. And so how it starts with is, again, this is sort of the challenge of Zoom. You know, we're in a circle, but we're in sort of a cyber circle. So I'm going to go around the circle, and have each person say their name 3 times. So maybe I'll just to make it, it's nicer if it can just be kind of spontaneous, but maybe because of efficiency, I'll just ask a person. And then we're going to go around the circle again and people share, you know, what is it that drew you into healing, or why you like just a quickie about who you are in relationship to healing. So we're going to go around the circle twice. So the first time we just say our name 3 times. So I'll start Marina, Marina, Marina. Erica, why don't you go second?
Erica, Erica, Erica.
And Karen, why don't you go?
Karen, Karen, Karen.
And Robin?
Robin, Robin, Robin.
Okay. And Jessica?
Jessica Ray, Jessica Ray, Jessica Ray.
And Nick?
Nick, Nick, Nick.
And Kanda? Here. Okay. So Kanda? I'm not hearing you for some reason.
Maybe you need to unmute, Kanda.
So I guess Kanda needs to unmute. Well, we'll come back to that. L?
L.
Rosemary?
Rosemary, Rosemary, Rosemary.
Rosalind?
Rosalind, Rosalind, Rosalind.
Katie?
Katie, Katie, Katie.
And is that everybody?
I have it gone.
Let me see.
Beth, Beth, Beth.
Thank you. Aaron?
Aaron.
And Catherine?
Catherine, Catherine, Catherine. And did you see the note from Kanda?
No, I did not.
This is a
What was-
silent day for her.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I had that
Mhm.
thought, which is right. So thank you, Catherine. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Sure.
Thank you. Catherine, would you be willing to start just saying a little bit of how you got into healing?
Let's see. I sent you a note this morning, but you probably didn't get to
No, I
see it.
didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. It started from childhood. You know, I was psychic as a child, and actually, it started from when I was 2. My father was very, very sick with tuberculosis and on home care for 6 months, and I was his caregiver at 2 years old. I felt the need to help him heal, and that's when I discovered the power of healing others. So that was really my genesis.
Wow. I
And I'm
just wrote
sorry.
a note. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
It's carried through my whole life. Sure.
Thank you. How about you, Rosemary?
I never thought about answering that question before. It's a very big question.
I know, sorry.
I don't know. I've always seemed to feel as though I was living in two worlds, and I wondered how to make them come together. Did that mean healing in the beginning? I'm not sure. But as people began to die around me, things began to happen, life began to hurt. I wanted to do something to change that pain. As to a time frame, I can't give you that. But that's the general arc.
Thank you so much. Truly, thank you for sharing. How about you, Rosalind?
I hadn't really been exposed to it until we went to Spirit Quest.
Oh, interesting.
So that's just for those who don't know me, that was just a year ago. A year and a few months now.
Wow.
What is Spirit Quest?
It was the group that Catherine brought
Hi.
to Jamaica,
Hi.
and I highly recommend it. It's an amazing experience on many.
Yeah, I paused because the short answer would be a yoga retreat excursion, but that really doesn't capture everything that it is. So let's just call it an experience that Catherine curates, where she takes groups to Jamaica for healing and restoration and fun too.
Yeah. Thank you. Anything else, Rosalind, that you want to share?
No.
Okay. And also, I just want to remind everyone, you always have the right to pass. You never have to share anything at any point in any way in this training. So I just want to reiterate that. How about you, Aaron?
For me, honestly, just being around Marina and doing work with her has really opened my eyes to everything and like healing. And I think what she's pointed out and like I've noticed about myself too is that naturally, like all of this stuff just like kind of works with me, and like it's kind of like how I think and how I live my life without even thinking about it. And so, over the past 18 months or so working with her, like it's really like brought me more to like realize like about thinking about it and like implementing it into my life without just kind of passively living like that.
Cool. Anything else?
I guess also just being really young and like learning about this so young feels really nice because I know I'll have it for a long time.
Thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, that's person thing, yeah.
How about you, Katie?
Yeah, I think similarly, my answer is a lot like Rosemary's. Just kind of a desire to use my own experiences and maybe something positive that's come from them by sharing that with other people. And then, of course, when our lives intersected originally in Hawaii 10 years ago, that really got the wheel spinning.
Anything else you would like to share?
Yeah, I guess, I'll just say I've dealt with a lot of chronic illness, and that's certainly been a driver, as well as mental illness in my family. So those two things have kept me on a healing journey for sure.
Thank you. How about you, Jessica?
I started teaching myself how to heal my pain as a young child. I was born with severe clubbed feet and had 5 pairs of reconstructive surgeries. The first one started at birth, and I knew at a young age that pharmaceuticals were not going to help me. And so as a young child, I told my mom I didn't want my pain medicine, and I would start to go into these trance and start to heal my pain, but I didn't know I was doing that. I kind of would think of it as dreams that I would have as a child. But when I became an esthetician and started touching people and getting responses of them feeling really euphoric and feeling no pain, then I realized that those dreams that I thought that I had were actually me healing myself. And then I was able to like backtrack and realize that I am what I call like a wounded healer. Like through my pain, I realized that I could help people. And yeah.
Thank you. Anything else?
Not at the moment.
You don't. How about you, Beth?
I think I've always had that as part of me, sort of like what Erin was talking about with being just how I live and how I am. And then when I was a certified massage therapist, I did a trade with someone who was teaching massage, and he said he had a vision when I first laid hands on him. He got a vision of a long line of wise women, healing women, my ancestresses. That I'm the latest in a long line of healing women, and that really struck a chord, and ended up going to nursing school. And it's really just sort of part of who I am and how I think.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, thank you for sharing. How about you, Elle?
Well, I've always really liked astrology, and I've kind of over the years have discovered that like the more you start to pay attention to what you would consider magic, the more magic you bring in and the more your life talks to you. So whether it's shamanism or astrology or crystals, but when you start, those are the little esoteric things that help bring kind of a depth and a richness into your life. And just the more that you tune into those things, not so much that it's like it's magic and it shapes things, but the more you tune into it, the more the universe speaks to you and the more you just kind of relax into your life. So I guess it's less about healing and more about the tuning in, which I guess is healing.
Healing has many names.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else you want to share right now? Okay, Robin?
Well, I would say Marina. I think it's you, Marina. I think meeting Marina, and I mean, my mom has always been very into like ESP and things like that. So I always had someone who talked about it, like talked about different things. But I would definitely say it's you, Marina.
Uh-oh.
Pressure, no pressure.
Mother-in-law, mother-in-law. Yeah. Anything else you want to share, Robin? Okay.
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Nick?
So I'm happy to be going later in the queue because pretty much everything everybody has said has some kind of resonance with my own experience as well. Starting really young, I think I felt like I noticed things more than other people did, and that ultimately caused a lot of pain because I still don't fully understand it. And so the journey has been really one of coming to terms with my lack of understanding for why I experience life the way I do, and sort of collecting like different models of how to think about it. So all the different experiences that people have explained are things that, I'm deeply interested in all of it, and I haven't quite landed on how I approach the thing, but it's really unfolding continuously. So there are like little moments where like something would happen where it became very clear that this was sort of for me. And one of the biggest ones was actually at Burning Man, where one of the principles is gifting. Like everybody is supposed to have some sort of gift that they just offer freely. And so the first year I was there, my question was kind of, what is my gift? And I just acted naturally. And what ended up happening is all these people just sort of found me, and we ended up in conversation. And some, just by being myself and speaking about my own experience with mental illness and this kind of sensitivity, I ended up, making a lot of people really happy. And it wasn't like people that found me were having a hard time, and then when I talked to them, they felt better. And there was nothing contrived about it. I wasn't trying to do it. I was just being myself. And so that was really kind of like, oh no, this is just be naturally who you are, and then this kind of unfolds on its own. And so the less I can be in the way trying to control things, the more I experience this. So so like ditto to everything everybody has said, and I just kind of keep coming up with new ways to talk about it, and this one being so kind of abstract and beautiful is one that feels particularly resonant.
Yeah. All right. And then Kanda is on a silent day. Kanda and I, our silent days are always on different days. So Kanda is a very beautiful healer. So, but she is in silence today. I think that's everyone. Is everyone? Well, Karen, right?
And Erica.
Oh, and Erica. Okay. I already talked to you, so. How about Erica? How about you go?
So I also happy to have gone near the end too, because what everybody said also really resonated with me. And I like, there was one thing that about living in two worlds and the desire to bring that together. But I guess just a quick story. I was going to a yoga class, and they locked the door exactly at 9 o'clock. So of course, me, which I'm working on my lateness, always showed up at like 9:01. The door was locked, and so I go back to my car, and I had borrowed this giant truck of, I guess my ex-husband had rented this truck. And I pull out, turned out I was parked next to Marina, and I completely, because of this huge truck, smashed the entire front of her car, like basically like pulled off the entire front of her car. And I was like, oh my God. And so then I basically had to sit there till the end of the yoga class, and Marina comes out. That's the first time I met Marina, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just like tore the front of your car off. And that was how we met. And it was just so astonishing how she responded to it. I had never experienced anything like it. And we became friends after that. And I started, and started working with Marina. But I also noticed things very, very early on as a child, things that happened that I couldn't explain. And I also would dream things that then would end up happening. But it always scared me. And I'd always, I think I always blocked this part of me. And I also grew up in a medical family where there was a lot of doctors and nurses, which are healers. I have a healing family, but it was always very taboo, all of, this part of healing in relation to the medical field. So I think after I lived in New York City for 20 years, and when I moved up here, I started meeting more and more healers. So that's, I think the journey came when I moved up here 14 years ago. So.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing. Anything else?
No.
And then how about you, Karen?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was hilarious, Erica. I never knew that. Anyway, well, I've always been, I think, I feel like I've always been kind of a deeper person, even as a child. And I've been, dabbling in all different fields through my life. But then it was shortly after my son died, that was 11 years ago. I was getting a tattoo in honor of him. And I was talking to the guy about, I wasn't sure which direction I wanted to go and everything. And he happened to know Marina, and he had a pamphlet that he gave to me. So I feel like it was kind of my son, directing me toward shamanism. And it's just everything I've always wanted to get into, and I love it. And that's it. That's how I got into it anyways. And it's been wonderful. It's helped me so much, to heal myself, because it's really about, untangling stuff and peeling layers away and kind of unlearning a lot of, what we've always learned. So I think it's been a beautiful thing, and I hope everybody continues. I love all your stories. So.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry for being late.
Is this Raphael?
Yeah.
Hi, Raphael.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah. We're just sharing. So just say your name 3 times. Are you finished, Karen, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, John. Raphael, just say, we're just starting our healing ritual. You're just in time. So just say your name 3 times, please.
Okay. Raphael.
And we're just going around the group, saying how people got into healing. So if you would like to share that briefly.
Well, I mean, it's kind of been in my family, my parents turned me on to Ram Dass when I was like 16 years old, who's a spiritual teacher who kind of brought Buddhism to the Western world. And yeah, I guess it's just been a part of my life for as long as I can remember.
Cool. So, and then the picture that hopefully you can see is a picture of Imbabura, which is this healing mountain in Ecuador. And so the healing ritual that we're doing comes from that experience.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I can see it.
And so now we're going to start. Does anyone have any questions before we start the actual healing process? I know that there's been stuff around healing stones and how to cleanse them and how to charge them and how to anoint them with healing water. So does anyone have any questions about that before we start? And so, and not everyone is drawn to healing stones, as Elle mentioned, some of us are drawn, although she's got healing stones everywhere, but there are, we're all drawn to different healing tools. And so the point of the training is to not overwhelm you with all these different things, but just show all these different options. And if something doesn't feel useful, then just discard it and, you know, find something that is useful, because there's literally an infinite number of healing tools available. In the Imbabura work, there's a crystal cave that is part of the work. And so in working with this particular healing technique that we're going to be doing with Karen, I invite people who are connected to healing stones to use the healing stones to enhance their work. And with cleansing healing stones, as I mentioned in the email, you can use salt, you can use water, you can use your breath. With charging your healing stones, you can use your breath and fire. And usually with anointing your healing stones, you use healing water, which everybody has. And my suggestion is just listen to your power animals, how they say to do it. And if you have questions, of course, communicate with me and we'll figure it out together. And also, if let's say you're about to do a healing and you kind of didn't do all that stuff, you could just kame your stones 3 times quickly, and that does, you can go that kind of seals the deal.
Grab her.
So it's not about like elaborate rituals, although sometimes we do elaborate rituals, but you know, it's more about transmitting energy and being effective and sometimes efficient, you know. Aaron, we're going to stop recording. So Jessica, how about you talk about it, what's going on, and then I'll talk about it too. But
Oh, sure. I just constantly struggle with creating boundaries. I'm a very open person, and all sorts of people see and feel the light that we all have, but for some reason, I just tend to attract a lot of unwanted energy from people. I've been stalked a few times. So yeah, more than ever, I've been picking up a lot of unwanted attention, and I'm a mother. My brother just moved out and I live alone in my house, and I'm just trying to find my own ways to stay grounded, but protect myself, and also not have my energies be depleted on a daily basis.
Yeah, and so I think, thank you so much for, you know, being part of this and being open, and so you know what Jessica is talking about is sometimes the dark side of being a healer. Everybody loves you, everybody wants you, and you know, it's so how to balance that energy. And so that's where having boundaries, closing power leaks, those kind of self-care, those kind of things.
I need more self-care for sure. I'm very bad at giving self-care.
You used to be bad at it.
Yeah,
now you're learning to be good at it.
Right, one day at a time.
So we're going to do another journey for Jessica.
Thank you, everyone.
And so get yourselves ready for that. Lie down, sit up, close your eyes, and just take a moment to, and you know, I invite you to, Jessica, to journey for yourself, but not with any kind of pressure. Just the most important thing you can do is receive. But if you journey, that's great.
So what is our question for Jessica?
I'll tell you when we're going. I mean, the question's going to be, how can Jessica best protect herself? What does Jessica need to do to protect herself? What is Jessica's power leak? You know, a question like that, whatever resonates from you after hearing from her, what's going on for her. And so, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And then start approaching your shamanic entrance. And when you're ready, go through your shamanic entrance. And then you go down, down, down the tunnel. And then you'll hit the bottom of the tunnel. And you'll exit. And that exit becomes the entrance into your shamanic world. And your animals will be waiting for you. So just take a moment and greet them. And ask the question, how can Jessica best protect herself? What does Jessica need to protect herself? How can Jessica best protect herself? Just allow yourself to receive whatever information. How can Jessica best protect herself? How can Jessica best protect herself? This is going to be a short journey. But no, you can always come back. Cosmic time is infinite time. So just allow any final information. Admitted for you. Enter your tunnel. Go up, up, and out your entrance. And then take a moment and write down, if that's helpful to you, anything that you got. And then Jessica, let us know when you're ready to receive. And take as much time as you need.
Thank you. I'm ready. Thank you.
Well, I'll go first, just so it gives other people time. I'd already journeyed on this, and I journeyed again and got the same thing. where, as I understand it, as I understand things, our auras are out here. And so what we were doing with Karen was going to that inner sanctum within. And what I was shown was something about your aura. And from my work with Imbabura, there's this belief or understanding that we need to have our auras protected by like a golden grid. And this golden grid, it's sort of like osmosis, you know, in biology, how cells let in the right thing and they keep out the wrong thing. So I got that because you are such a powerful healer, that you're just way out there and that it's not like being contained like in a bad way, but it's like you're not protected. And so it would be useful in your meditation to imagine yourself protected by this golden matrix grid, and that your aura will be within that, and that your aura's been out of that grid. And it's not like the grid isn't there, but the aura, you know, it's like the aura needs to come in and as I said, be contained, but not in a negative, like, oh, you're too much, nothing like that. It's just more like you have such an open heart, and that self-care, boundaries, and all those things will be much easier for you. That's
Thank you.
partly why it's been hard for you to have, you know it, you try to do it, and that it'll just happen for you. It'll be effortless.
Thank you. I love you, Marina.
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, I want to affirm what you just said, because the words that came to me were craft a daily membrane of energy around yourself.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh. Anybody else want to share?
I will. Jessica, this is Catherine. What came for me is that you must always maintain a strong, focused mind. A strong, focused mind. And again, I wondered, what should you be focusing on? It sounds like, again, Marina and I are in sync here. The focus should be perhaps on the golden matrix grid. So with a strong, focused mind, always see that grid around you and protecting you. And the other message I received is black obsidian, the crystal black obsidian, which is considered to be a psychic vacuum cleaner. It's a stone, a crystal that would protect you, keep away negative energy, pull it out of your system. So I would suggest sitting with that focused mind, imagining the golden light and holding on to black obsidian if you have it. And that's what came to me for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I wish you well.
Sorry, I'm feeling really emotional. I can just feel everyone's energy. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all.
Well, thank you for being so beautiful and open. We love you. You love us. It's the world we're trying to create.
It feels good to have community.
I'd like to share what came to me is sort of what I sent to Karen, and I do this for myself as well. For me, it starts with a chakra clearing. I just envision all my chakras, and I see them like spinning and throwing off shit, you know, whatever energetic shit accumulates, and then imagine them all just blasting with light. And to me, the light is white. I associate it with the crown chakra girl. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I see. And then just imagine that light coalescing around me in like a bubble or an egg, and it clears that negative, like Catherine was talking about, but then also just kind of forms that membrane or that protection where it holds your good energy and kind of repels negative. And it's been very useful for me emotionally as well as other ways. It's kind of a meditative, yeah. You're welcome.
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, I just feel a lot of lightness and action with you, where you're in a strong message of just like, you're just totally not fucking responsible for protecting everybody else.
Thank you.
Mine went along with that. It was really about the word no.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying no.
And then
You used to have a hard time saying no, but now
But-
you're learning how to say no.
it didn't come to me, but this is something I've been practicing, is the words I can't. It's not about what I saw in my vision, but the words I can't, and then not explaining why. But just saying I can't. That's it. And walking away, or just I can't.
So the explanation becomes a power leak or something.
Yeah, you don't have to explain why you can't, but just I can't.
I can't, and I'm good with it.
Yeah.
And fuck you anyway.
I got like a tapping into a mama bear kind of energy of like, no one fucks with me, and like specifically those words. And I saw you doing like a daily ritual of whatever makes you like, brings you into that like, no one can fuck with me, I'm a mama bear energy. And I saw Muhammad Ali, which was very cool. And I saw you kind of just like fists up, like bouncing from foot to foot, really light on your feet, just like chilled, relaxed, but totally prepared.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else like to share?
There you go.
Okay.
So this is really resonant for me. It's something that I have struggled with a lot, and I can relate a lot to this feeling that the people that are the most taxing for me energetically, I can often see that they really do need help, and that's why I always end up in this position. And so so rather than the kind of protective side of it, I think about how the Spirit says, ask us to carry it. And so like as part of this, focused meditation that people have suggested is being more in tune with the spirits or power animals or whatever term works for you, to know that it's not giving of yourself if you're reaching out and connecting. And so when you said this thing about being good to have community, it strikes me that you're doing exactly that by bringing it to this group. And so to kind of keep that side of it present. So it's like kind of the balance of like the boundary, but then also what you do decide to let in, to have something like if I'm giving myself, it becomes not just impossible to do, but then ultimately kind of like, it's this sort of like savior thing where it's like kind of egoistic in a sense for me anyway. And so when I see it more as like, I'm just kind of a conduit, like moving this bad energy to something else bigger than me that can deal with it, I don't get as tired. And so it's kind of the other side of the boundary, but then also like, what do you do with the shit once you do decide to, that's it. Cause I can't say no all the time. Sometimes it feels right to say, yes, I want to help, but it's not just me helping. It's us. So I think, part of it is just like, you've done this, right? This is what that looks like, I think, in a very real way. So thank you. It was very helpful for me as well.
You.
Anybody else want to share?
I can just say a few words. Mine felt less clear, although what I got was a very large body of water, and also crystals, like enormous crystals that were like floating above the water, almost as like in relation to the water. So I don't know if there's like the relationship between water and crystal, but it's sort of
Thank you.
have.
Thank you, Erica.
Mhm.
I'll go. I don't know what to make of what I got, but I went for a moment into almost like a dream, and I saw a large sword hanging in a dining nook area, higher than what you could reach, but it was there, metal. That's it. I don't know. I don't know what that was about, but that's what I got.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anybody else want to share? Candace, would you like just to transmit what you got? And then Raphael, would you like to share?
I'll pass for right now.
Okay. I love it when people pass, because then you know it's such a good thing to be able to pass. So thank you for passing.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Aaron, anything you want to share?
I think I'm good for today.
Great. So last call for anyone who wants to share. Of course, feel free to communicate anything.
I guess maybe I might say, like, because I've struggled with having boundaries in the past, and something that really helped me was to really place more trust in my own capacity to love myself. And the more that I place trust in that, the less I feel like I would need to help other people to get that sense of fulfillment. So I guess my advice would be to really hone in on your own wholeness and your connection to yourself. And the more that you cultivate that, I think that you'll just naturally, intuitively be able to create boundaries, and see what's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think that's everyone. Is that everybody? Or have I once again forgotten someone? Well, our next training is rescheduled from June 6th to June 13th. Next year, it's going to be a little bit of a different structure. We'll meet for 4 times and then do individual work. And you'll be working within your soul pod next year too. So it'll be a little bit of a different structure next year. Next session is the last session for the first year. For anyone who's joined later, I can catch you up. It's not a problem, but there aren't going to be any more people joining. And are there any questions or thoughts before we close for today?
It was a pleasure meeting all of you. I'm so happy that you guys are in my life, and I wish you all the best.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Likewise. And I know after today, I was very heavy hearted and heavy energetically, and I don't feel that way now. I feel much lighter, and it's been a real communion today, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you, and I love you.
Love you too.
I won't be able to join you guys next time because I will actually be flying to the East Coast with my family to relocate. So I will be thinking of you and very close Connecticut. So yeah. So please think of me in the air with a tiny little baby that he just goes right to sleep.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you all today. This is
That'll
great.
be on YouTube, so you can always look at it if you want to.
Safe travel.
Anybody else?
Noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, okay. Good call. Good call, Al.
Melatonin gummies. Half of it.
Yes.
Also a good idea.
Anybody else before we close for today? Well, I love you all infinitely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being beautiful, unique you. I'm going to cry. I love you. I love you. I'll see you next time round, if not before. And I love you. I love you. Take care. And
Love
keep
you too,
being
Maria.